Hey everyone, what's up? Yeah, as you can probably tell, I did get a haircut finally. I got it today after work. Only did 4.5 hours and did a little shopping, got a few things here and there, some new movies. Guys, you'll probably see later in an update video. Just have to wait and see. Um, but I thought I'd kind of give you my thoughts on Finding Dora. Yes, I did finally see Finding Dora. I saw it as a birthday gift. I guess you could say it was basically 2 days later because I had to work on my birthday on the evening of my birthday, so I had to wait literally 2 days later to celebrate it with my family. But I did finally see Finding Dora. I mean, I had a choice, really. It was either Pets, Ice Age, or Star Trek, and my family decided, and well, my family was kind of like, "Hey, you go ahead and decide what you want to go with." And originally I wanted to see Ice Age, but then again I heard my sister saying it was not good. A lot of people online saying it's not good. So that was out of the question. Pets was another option, Secret Life of Pets, and I was thinking, oh, that might be good. But my second oldest sister thought, no, it's not that good. But not my second oldest sister, but my oldest sister, because I have two sisters, two older sisters. My oldest sister said she had seen it, and it wasn't as good as people thought it was. So that was out of the question. And then I wasn't too sure about Star Trek, whether they would sit through that or not, that being the kids. So we just said, you know what, so it was decided, okay, we'll see Dora. Um, and obviously, my older sister had never seen Dora. My second older sister, I don't know if she'd seen Dora or she thought, or maybe she said she thought she did. I don't really know. So we decided to see Dora. It was a 4:45 showing. Wasn't that crowded? Most of the seats that were taken, not even all of the seats taken, just a few of them here and there, were in the stadium level, like the upper level of the theater. So we saw it, and it was only on one screen. And what was funny though is we went in there. Usually, with the movie theaters, they show you like what movies are, what directions. They didn't have the titles of any of the movies. Showing you, oh, go in this direction. Here you see these movies over in this direction, and in this direction you'll see these movies in that direction. They didn't have that. I don't know if they're doing some maintenance or they're getting ready to put in the signs for the new movies or what's going on. So, I mean, I haven't heard anything, which is kind of weird. But you know what I'm saying. It's like here's the left, like here on this side you have the listing of movies and times and everything. It's like go that way, and that because basically the other movies in that direction in the theater, and the same with movies in this part of the theater. So we didn't see those. We didn't see any of the names of the movies. So like I said, I don't know if they're just getting ready to put in the new names, if they're updating, or what's going on. Maybe something burnt out on the lighting. I don't know. I do know it was one of the theaters this past Monday that showed the two one-time showings of The Killing Joke, Batman: The Killing Joke. So if I had not worked on Monday and wanted to see a movie, it would have been that. But um, yeah, overall though, went and saw Finding Dora, and very good movie, very good. It does kind of follow a similar trend as the first one, but you could tell it's more focused on the fact that it's focused on what was played for laughs in the first one, and that is Dora's short-term memory loss she wants because now it's starting to because basically not to give much away if you have not seen it, and if I'm you, I go and see it this week because this next day or two might be the last time it's in theaters, unless you have one of those budget theaters right next to you, in your vicinity, those half off theaters like $5, $4, whatever, or even dollar theaters, which is kind of surprising. They get you in, you see a movie. Um, anyway, that's probably the only time you get to see it in theaters. But this might be the last few days you see it because maybe even the last week because it's they're probably getting it ready to be uh, released on home video by, let's say, October, November, knowing Disney. But anyway, like I was saying, it's definitely a good movie. And what it does is it focuses on that short-term memory loss of Doris, which was played for laughs in the first one. But this time, it's starting to affect her in a sense that um, she's starting to have dreams, if you will, about these memories she's had but she's forgotten. And we find out right off the start that this has been something she's dealt with since she's been a baby, since she's been a kid. And it's something that her parents, we get to see her parents, who are played by Eugene Levy and Diane Keaton. Uh, we see how concerned they are because it's something they know is going to affect her for the rest of her life. Um, so yeah, it's a very good film. So yeah, this basically becomes a focus, and it definitely helps the film out in a huge way because she starts noticing as she goes on this journey finally, because she ends up having this major flashback. She goes on to help the Manaway from the last film, who's like, I guess you could say, a school teacher as an assistant with the kids, to help teach the kids about manta ray migration, well, basically, but migration period. And she ends up seeing something or hearing something during this that triggers another flashback. This one being a bigger one, and it's about her family. And it's also triggered because one of the kids, I'm again not trying to give much away, asked her where she came from, where's her family. So yeah, that along with something that she sees or is referenced or she hears basically triggers a major flashback where she decides she has to find her family. She has to find her parents. So she goes on this journey. Marlin more reluctantly, Nemo, I guess, wanting to because of what she did for him, go and help Dora find her family. And they have to go from where they are to California, and they just go on this magnificent journey. You could definitely tell that in the 13 years between both films, that the CGI, the animation is really improved. You get a lot more fluid coloring in vivid colors and just lifelike ocean um, environments here. It's just really, really well done. And I like the fact that we find out exactly where Dora came from because we do find out where she was born, where she came from, and basically she goes back there. It's a bit of a origin story for Dora, but it's Dora exploring her origins. It's one of those stories. Like it's an origin story, but it's Dora trying to discover her own origin at the same time. It's one of those kind of stories. And it's again really good. It's really good at doing that. And the characters we meet up with, some of the newer characters, are really really good. Um, again, we get to find out more along with Dora. We get to find out more about her past in this environment when she arrives at the place where she was born. We find out more about her life and what it was. We basically find out more about along with her. We find out more about her past and everything, and even the friends she made. I mean, we even find out she had a pipe pal, which was kind of like a pen pal, I guess you could say, in a killer whale. Well, not a killer whale, but in a whale named Destiny. And she herself, which was funny about this, these characters she encounters and friends she kind of gets reacquainted with after such a long time, have their own kind of problems themselves. Like Destiny, she's nearsighted, she can't really see well. So she doesn't realize that Dora is prey. You get it? She doesn't realize that Dora is prey. That Dora, her pipe pal, her pen pal, is prey. she doesn't get that. She doesn't realize that. So, which is a good thing, beneficial, because even I have a feeling even if they wanted to continue that storyline between the two, she wouldn't turn against Dora. She wouldn't. So that's pretty nice to see. Um, her her neighbor, I guess her other best friend, and he's a bloomer whale or something like that. He has problems at first with his echolocation kind of deal that those whales have. So that's played up for laughs. Basically, the back and forthness because one always gets on the other about the disability is kind of funny. But again, I think like Andre said in his review about a month ago, Andre Black Nerd Comedy, it's it's played for laughs, but they also when they go back and forth with each other, but they're also there for each other, which is really really good. Again, like I said, we get to see where she comes from. I mean, the adventure she goes on at this area, in this place that she came from, is really good because it's not just the facility that she was born in. It's not just the facility she came from, but she's got to find the Pacific area in this facility of where she came from. And when she finally finds it, they do such a magnificent job of showing off what it looks like, as if you were not a participant, as if you were a visitor to this place, this facility, this aquatic facility yourself. Like if you go to Monterey or something, like to Monterey Bay or something like that. That's how it feels. It really, really feels that good. It really feels that real in a sense when you watch it. And you don't even have to watch it in 3D to get that feeling. But it's really nice. Now, of course, the character that helps her along the way is Hank, played by Ed O'Neill, and his animation is done so well. Well, like I said, the animation on it is just done terrifically. I mean, to find out that they spent years, I don't know how many years doing it, but shows you that it paid off. But again, he kind of takes the place. I guess you could say he's in the position of what? One problem about trying to do videos, especially when kids around, they interrupt you. But it just pays off, and he plays the role basically. He takes the place of Marlin and of Marlin, in this one. Basically, it's kind of like a reverse role kind of deal. Like Dora was helping Marlin find Nemo in the first one, so now Hank, that's the Septopus's octopus, whatever he says name. Um, he is in the role of Dora, helping Dora find her family. So kind of a reverse in a sense, but with somebody else in that position. But overall, just really really good. I love how they kind of depict how Dora's parents, when she was younger, and it gets referenced in the present when she flashes back and forth, how they would find ways to help her remember certain things, like how to get home, how to do this, how to do that. And it's also shown that despite this disadvantage she has, that she can also do things on her own when she puts her mind to it. So really, really good. And I like the fact that when they show the first time she flashes back, and you get this whole shell situation, which, again, not to give much away, is kind of like a clue to how to get her home. I like when she sees it the second time, about, I would say maybe 10 minutes later or 5 minutes later, I'm not really sure, that she sees a whole row of them. Because basically, of course, with any Disney Pixar film you know of, basically she kind of gets lost and is separated, and basically towards the end she gets lost and all that, separated from everybody, and she ends up back in the ocean. But as she's floating down trying to ask for help and all that, she gets closer to the ocean floor, and she notices the same kind of pattern of shells that she saw in the aquarium. In the aquarium part, the uh, aquatic part, if you will, and she notices a whole. She notices it, and it leads her to basically this one area where this whole bunch of shells just lined up all over, and you know this leads to a moment, and you probably know what it is, but I don't want to give much away. That I think if you watch the trailer, pretty much gives it away there. But again, not going to give much away if you kind of catch my drift. So overall, though, Dora is definitely a good movie to go see. Animation is great. They do get some funny moments. I mean, the ending, me and my family were laughing and cracking up because at the end they were play. There's a climactic scene at the end where they were playing Louis Armstrong's "Wonderful World." It's just and doing it in a sense that in doing it, animating it, and filming it in a way that makes you really crack up and laugh. So. But overall, definitely Dora is a 5-star film. Definitely go and see it. And I know Animat doesn't agree with that much, and some others may, but to me, it's a 5-star film. I mean, yeah, it does follow the same pattern storyline wise, similar storyline wise to the first one, but it's done in a sense that it's done as an origin story with the oranger, if that's a word, in Dora trying to discover her origins and us discovering it with her. So definitely go and see it. Will they do another Dora movie, another Finding movie? Who knows? Will they do a series instead? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'm out.